No, I just want to do what I can to, help this team and, just try to give what the defense takes, or start to take what the defense gives me. Sorry about that.
Early interception there. Were you pressing a little too early?
I think so. It was just a mental error. There was a guy open, and I knew he was open. I just tried to force the ball. It was a mental mistake. I didn't want to let that set the offense and myself back. So, it was something to respond from.
That forced fumble and then that drive for you guys, what would take me through that?
We just knew we had to take advantage of what the defense did right there. They were awesome helping us out today. That takeaway really changed the momentum of the game, I think. And as an offense, we knew we had to take advantage of it, get the ball moving and score.
But as a follow-up on that, you're down 10 going to the fourth quarter. You get in the huddle for the first play. What do you see from the other 10 guys?
Not a just consistency, and you could see it in their eyes. They were just ready. It wasn't an anxious start of the game butterfly. It wasn't we're in desperation mode. It was just ready, and you can tell from the O-line to the receivers to the running backs and tight ends. We were ready, and we knew what we had to do, and we did it.
Against a Power 5 team, this kind of stage, Coach Talk says long time coming for you to get this kind of moment. What does it mean to have a fourth quarter comeback in a game like this?
That's awesome. This is something that kids like myself dream about from being really young and being able to get this opportunity, and the team just came out and we did what we had to do. And it wasn't as pretty as we probably wanted it to be. There were some things that we could have taken advantage of, like that mental mistake that I made at the start. I wish I wouldn't have done that. But with that being said, I think it was great to see us respond to adversity. Just stay consistent and have our mindset in the right place.
Looked like Georgia Tech was running out of cover 0. Did you see the same thing?
A little bit. They started blitzing right before halftime, and there was some stuff that was a little bit different that we hadn't seen before. And then, luckily we came in at halftime, we made adjustments, and the second half we came out rolling.
Did you know it was going to have to be just score, and score some more against them?
Yeah, we talked about it a lot this week. I think on average, most opposing offenses average, I think, 6 to 7 series against them, just because that clock's moving. So we knew we had to take advantage of the times that we got and the opportunities. That's what was really, in the moment, was really frustrating for me to come out there at the start and throw that interception. But like I said, it was nothing that I knew we couldn't bounce back from. And Coach talked about it before the game. Things aren't going to always go our way, but as long as we stay consistent, that we know we can put ourselves in the best position to win.
Do you think being married as a child, that maturity thing, do you think that's important?
I think it's important. Personally, I think the team responds to it really well. I get the Pops nickname a lot, things like that, but I enjoy it. I think the team sees it from me in a different perspective because, I'm not quite the veteran when it comes to playing time, but just being experienced, being a part of programs, being in, college football for a while now and having a kid and having a wife that, I don't really have a chance or a choice to be mature or not be mature, by the time I go home. So, I just have to carry that over in the field and in the locker room just to get to.
Do you think you have something to prove?
What was that?
Having to prove from Alabama and Arizona State. Do you think?
Do I have something to prove? Absolutely. Well, I don't think it has anything to do with where I've been to prove something. I think, just coming out of high school, I wanted to prove myself. I think that's every major collegiate athlete, quarterback. It doesn't really matter. I think everyone wants to prove themselves. And what was really, really awesome for me today was just the team win, the turnover on defense, the special team plays, the plays on offense. I think just that was so awesome to see our team come out there and come together as a whole and, win the game as one.
Coaches said, they never realized you could run like that. A couple of coaches told us that, do you think your running's kind of been unheralded maybe or unappreciated before?
I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't think I could run till junior year of high school either. This is just being completely real, but it's. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I've known I've always had that in my back pocket, and that's what it was kind of frustrating me in high school because they listed me as a dual threat guy, and this is stupid, high school drama. But they listed me as a dual threat guy, and I don't want to be. I want to be a pocket passer. I want to be able to sit back there, use my legs if I have to, and so I'm just trying to carry that on to now. If I need to, then I'm going to do what I can.
For those of us who don't know, What were you required to do in high school? Were you a pocket passer?
A pocket passer, yeah, but I had to run a lot too, and not necessarily design runs, but things happen. It's football. The game changes instantly, so just being able to adapt on your feet.
When you came in here at the start, did you feel this team was skeptical a little bit because your background, or do you think they accepted you readily? Did you feel anything like that or not?
I don't say, I wouldn't say that I felt that necessarily. If they did, then they have every right to. And I told the coaches that when I came here on a recruiting visit. I was like, you guys have every right to be skeptical. And so all I wanted to do was prove myself to the coaches, prove myself to the team. And, I think that they're starting to see that. And I think the guys are really, really, buying into that. And it means a lot for guys to trust and feel like they can depend on me. So I wouldn't say I felt that specifically, but if they did, they have every right and reason to. I have a very different journey than everyone else.
You're 2 games in. You mentioned last week how you still look unsure of the offense. How are you feeling after this game?
Good, really good. Just learning every week, trying to get better. Going against different defenses, running a little bit of different plays, just adapting to what we think will be successful for the opposing team, and just continuing to learn. Coach Gilbert's done an awesome job of just helping me, and so is the team too. I mean, the running backs, everyone's done a really good job at helping me, fully grasp and understand. And I think all of us are learning every week, just getting better.
I'm guessing you're the only guy that was happy with the 6 a.m. practice. Take care of the 4 o'clock feeding, give the baby to the wife, and head over to practice.
Yes and no. I'm in grad school right now, so I have class 3 nights a week from 6:30 to 10:15 at night. So, got to do what you got to do.
Blake, in terms of your progress, and I'm looking later on in the season, if 10 is like you're at your peak, where would you say you're at? From 1 to 10, if 10 is the top right now.
To be completely honest, it's really hard to determine that because, this is only my 2nd game. So, like I said, last week I left things on the field. This week I left things on the field. So I'm not satisfied. I'm not pleased. I think it was a great team win. I think we did an awesome job. We did what we had to do. But personally, I think I could have done a lot better. So it's really hard to put a number on it. But, I'm going out there and I'm giving everything I have on every single play. And I promise that that's going to be how it is. And I told the team that.
It felt great, just going out there and helping my team out any way I can and just showing that the world what USF has to bring, and also that we're not just an American Athletics Conference team, that we can compete with the big guys.
Terrence, you're 5'7"?
5'8".
Right, what do you weigh? What do you weigh these days?
177.
177.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, the first touchdown looked like you found a little seam at the 20. How did that transpire?
My teammate, D'Angelo Antoine, he told me after the first one, when I got tripped up a little bit, he told me to slow down and just follow him. And I followed him, and I just broke through, and then I scored.
And the second one looks like you hit a little wall and just kind of bounced outside.
Oh, yeah, if it wasn't there, it was to the field, and that's what I did. And I followed my teammate again.
Did you ever think you could get a second one after you got the first?
Yeah, I always got to believe, just anyway, because, that we was down at the time and we needed it big. And so I just, when my number was called, I showed up.
And then sorry, go ahead. Ronnie said that he told you to meet him after that first one.
He did, and I met him. Oh, next.
You just got tripped up a little bit on the first one, like somebody got your leg, or?
Oh yeah, I was running too fast, and so like when he hit me, it just like threw my whole equilibrium off. I know that's a big word.
You were also able to be part of the wide receiver game a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting in there, getting a couple catches. How'd that feel?
Oh, it felt great because I only contribute. I can contribute on both the return game and as a wide receiver to this team, and it just feels great knowing that the coaches trust me as a true freshman just to go out there and help the team get victories.
You were mentioning before, like, this is the type of game that kind of shows a lot of people what you guys are really made of. You're one more added weapon to what this team has on offense.
Yeah, we have a multiple amount of weapons on offense, and like our coach said, everybody has a role, and if everyone on the team plays that role, we're gonna come out with victories like this every Saturday.
Are you aware that your touchdowns have gone viral already?
Oh yes, I have. My phone has been ringing nonstop.
You ran track in high school.
Yes,
you ran the
I
100
did.
meter.
Yes, I did.
How fast did you run it?
My fastest time was 10:29 in high school. So yeah.
You ever returned 2 kicks for a touchdown in a game?
I actually never have. This is the first time I ever did this. And but just as I'm doing it, it just shows that what I could bring for the team, like I said before. And it's just, I'm always remaining humble because, you remain humble, God does great things for you. And today was one of those days for me.
Do you hear the crowd when you're busting out? Yeah.
I heard the crowd.
What's that like for you?
It's exhilarating. It's very fun. So, once you get in that one time, you want to get in the end zone more and more. So, by grace of God, I got 2 more. And I was happy that I helped my team today.
And when they roar, no one's near you too, right?
No. And I look at the screen up top.
Oh, you look?
Yeah, I look at the screen up top.
I saw one of the coaches on Twitter, put something, one of your high school coaches
Yeah.
probably put on Twitter about how it's been your work over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Talk about that and being able to develop and work as hard as you have to get here.
The work I put in to get here, it was a long road because growing up, I just looked at like the fast guy who could just do this and that. But then my coach, Ivan McCartney, he really helped me out my senior year at high school, helping me develop my game more and my technique more as a receiver because I needed it when I got to the college level. And I'm grateful for him for teaching me all those things.
We knew they were coming here and run the ball. We knew they were going to make plays, but at the end of the day, we knew we had to stop them, and it was going to go through the defense to win the ball game, and that's what it did do today.
That second half was big boy football, wasn't
Correct,
it?
correct. It was a big boy game. And like I said, man, it's a man's game, and men showed up today.
When you play a Power 5 team like that, is it an extra special win?
I mean, not necessarily it being a Power 5 team, just being a big game. I mean, for us in this program, I mean, something that this program has always done was win big games, and that's something that we did today.
They changed their formation second half. They went to that tight double wing.
Right, red.
There was 22 guys within 6 yards of the ball. That was ridiculous, like a phone booth, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We know they were coming here with a plan to run the football. I mean, that was one of the formation that we studied as well. So, I mean, they hit us with some things early, but eventually when it settled down and we got corrections on the sideline, we all got it worked out and we came out with the victory.
You went down with an injury. Coach said, after you got checked out, you said, they're not keeping me off the field. What do you have to say about that?
Absolutely not. I mean, one thing I told this ball club, I would never quit on this ball club. Those players know it, and I know it, and I just want them to fight for me like I'll fight for them. And that's something that we do. I trust every single one of those players on that ball club. So, I mean, I would never quit on this ball club.
What was your reaction whenever Horne took 2 back-to-back to the house?
Actually, I called Horne, meet me. And then he says, Jerome. So he's the fastest guy on this ball club. I mean, he can fly. I mean, when you see him run, he runs effortless. That's how fast he is. You just see him pouncing out the ground. And I told him big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. And I told him, when you're going to be fast, you got to be fast all the time.
That's got to be the ESPN #1 play tonight, doesn't it?
Absolutely, both of them.
Yeah. And the first one he almost broke, too.
Absolutely, man. He supposed to have 3, but he had to end up having 3 touchdowns today. So that was a big ball game for him, especially being a freshman coming in and doing that.
Mother Nature hasn't been kind to you. Hurricane Irma last year, and now you have to go to 6 a.m. practices. How much did that throw things off this week?
I mean, we just keep focused on what the task at hand. I mean, we control what we can control. I mean, we know we have weather issues here in Florida, but I mean, we control and come out and execute on Saturdays.
Get to play in another pro stadium next week.
That's big time. I heard that stadium has a lot of history. I've never been, so it'd be good to go up there and show out in that stadium.
Maybe one of the Bears will show up.
Absolutely, that'd be good.
What do you have to say about the way that the offense, Blake, led that drive late in the fourth quarter, whenever y'all were down 10?
Before every ball game, I tell Blake to lead that offense, and I'll lead the defense. I mean, that's something that he's done, and he will continue to do. I mean, I look to Blake as a leader on that side of the ball, and he does it exceptionally well.
Real tough defense or offense to kind of stick with there in Georgia Tech, real assignment football. When there's a point where you're just kind of waiting for which defense is going to make that big play, and it doesn't seem like either offense can be stopped, how hard is it to sit there and grind with an offense like that that's just constantly making you stay focused and making you work?
I think it comes down to never getting bored with your job. I mean, enjoying the process. I mean, plays may not come your way, but you got to keep doing your job, because if you don't, then the play will come back your way. So, I mean, never getting bored with doing your job. I mean, you got to be obsessed with doing your job, and that's something that we did this week, and we've been practicing for this team because we know the type of offense they ran, and we executed today.
It had been real easy to quit on that last play and let them score. How important was it not to let them get that last touchdown?
Like I said before, I mean, something that we pride ourselves on is finishing ball games, and that's something that we struggled with last year and we want to build on this year. So finishing that last play is something big that we wanted to do here, and we got it done.
Only 5 penalties today. Were you pleased with the discipline?
That's another thing. I think last year we were the most penalized team in the country last year, so Coach Strong emphasizes that a lot. I mean, this year we've done pretty good with that, so we're taking steps forward.
On the interception, did it seem that ball just hung in the air forever?
Absolutely. I had to make sure I caught it. So I had to make sure I caught that ball. That ball hung there. That was a big interception for us, inning and a half.
What about your stop at the goal line, too? Were you diving in, stopping right at the 1-yard line? You were fired up at the end right there.
Absolutely. Putting it all on the line for this ball club. I told this ball club, like I said earlier, I would never quit on this ball club. I'm going to give it all I got every Saturday, and that's something that I did today.
You don't have Flowers running the ball, but you got a guy who's pretty athletic back
right.
there.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the next man up. It's the next man up business, and Blake is doing a great job at his job. So, I mean, we're getting behind that guy. We're going to get behind that guy here and lead him every time, and we trust him.
How long can you celebrate this win?
Oh, man, 24 hours in his own Illinois.
How about the timeliness of the team fumble just at that point? You needed a turnover in the worst way, and just everything came through.
We knew they weren't going to put it in the air that much, so we knew that we had to get the ball off these guys, and that's something that we practice as well. I mean, script attempts and scripts are something that we emphasize in practice as well as catching the ball. So, I mean, we wasn't surprised that we got it. We just was excited to get the ball from them.
We're second in the nation last year in interceptions. You got 3 this year. You hope to do the same thing this year?
Absolutely. The standard is the standard here. I mean, we pride ourselves on the standard, and the standard can't be lowered for nobody. I mean, those guys left, and we have to embark on what they left behind and try to do better than they did. That's how you build programs.
So trying to get more than 20 this year?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, as a defense, we knew we need to come together and we need to make some plays for the offense to get the ball to them. And we just need to stop it. They have a dynamic offense. So we just need to come together as a team unit and just break them down and stop them. And we did, and we give the ball back to the offense.
Nico, can you talk about the 2 plays? First the fumble, then the interception, just what you saw, what was going on?
Well, the first play on my job was for cutback purposes. So I was slow playing the ball, and then I would go out the block, and then Bentley squared the ball out, and the ball right there, so I jumped on it. Got the ball back for the team in the interception. Kirk had a great pass rush, knocked the ball in the air, and I was there at a high point this time, and took the ball, tried to get as many yards as I could, just to help out our team to get us a win.
You've been such a leader on this defense, this year, and then obviously, you played a key part last year. What's that been like for you, being able to be a leader on this defense?
I enjoy it a lot. Every day I'm trying to get better, to be more vocal, try to be more, play more like a leader out there. But I got to give it to the coaches and the players. They all look at me as a significant figure on our defense, and I thank them every day for that. I wouldn't be here without the Lord above and the coaches who brought me here. And I love my teammates to death, and we have an awesome defensive unit, awesome unit.
So you don't think you did that much on the 2 turnover plays? I mean, one was the fumble forced by somebody else.
Denley popped the ball out, I was there for it. And Kurt hit the ball in the air, and I was there for it too. So without him squirting the ball out, and without him hitting the quarterback, I could have got a pick with the fumble. So
you guys really had the battle a lot throughout this game, but in the 4th quarter, it seems like things were turning around. What adjustments did you guys make from that start of the second half to then?
We just had to bite down and just tackle the guy at the ball. They came out in a red bone and they just run the ball sweep outside of us. We just had to come together and just make some plays and stop the ball like 3 and out, 4 and out, and then we just get the ball to offense and let them do their thing.
You talk about a guy like Bentley Sanders as a freshman making these type of contributions. What's impressed you about him?
Hey, he's a great player. He really is. He came in here, took a starting spot, and he's been playing lights out this whole season. And we needed more from him and more from everybody who was playing this year. So it's a great thing to have him at safety.
Plain and simple, that second half was big boy football, wasn't it?
Yeah, yes, it was. They were just running the ball, like I said, sweep left, sweep right, just going side to sideline. And that was big boy ball, yes, sir. That was big boy ball.
Yeah. Georgia Tech, a tough team to try and game plan for from the defensive side. And when you're there in the 4th quarter, and they have just been seemingly running the ball at will, both offenses going down the field, and one defense has got to make a stop to win this game.
Right.
How hard is it to stay focused and keep pushing and keep grinding?
Especially with them, you get keys, you got to read your keys. Your first linebackers, fullback to the guards, and we just got to keep reading keys, just making plays. The one time you might mess up, it might be a big yardage play. We just had to focus on laser focus, as you all say, laser focus, and just make plays and just came with the dub.
And it seemed like a lot of that second half they ran just about the same play out of the same offense.
Yes, they did.
QB keep the ball, defensive end crashes. If he comes in, you pass the ball off to the running back. How hard was it to try and adjust to that?
It was very difficult. So we just had to bite our teeth and just laser focus and just make some plays because they were getting good yards on us. So they were.
Game over, last play. You were going to be damn sure they didn't score, right?
100%. We needed a goal line. It was nice to have a goal line stop at the last play of the game, so it means a lot for our defense and for other opponents we're playing against in the future.
On the interception, were you begging that ball to come down a little sooner?
That ball took forever to come down. It took forever, but this time it's a high point, unlike last game where Vincent and me collided and I dropped it. To learn my lesson, I high pointed the ball and caught it. So.
Well, high point, you got what, 6 inches off the ground?
Maybe seven. We'll go back and look how high it was, but yeah, I got up a lot of feet.
Absolutely.
You guys got your first road test next week. What's one thing you guys as a defense think you need to improve on from now until then?
We just need to do our job. We understand that they're a good opponent. We're going to their stadium, their house. First game for me playing out there. You played them last year, so we know what they're going to do, what to expect. But we need to go out there and play our ball. Play our AAC defense and play our offense, and just go out out there and compete.
Get to play in another NFL stadium.
Yes, that's very exciting. It's one of the best ones, I think. So it'd be cool to go to the NFL stand and see what they're all about. So absolutely.
From the 5 penalties today, are you happy with the discipline?
Absolutely. They tried to draw us offside twice or 3 times, and we just held their ground and it didn't work for them. Absolutely. It's a great thing. We don't have a lot of money.
How does this win feel going in as the underdog?
It feels real good. Like I said, we're AAC. People kind of look down on us, bigger than the Power 5 schools. It means a lot to our program to show that we're not just AAC's Power 6 team. We're a team that are going to go out and compete with the big boy schools. So it's a great team victory, and we're going to get together Sunday, Monday, to prepare for Illinois and come back and have another great game.